things that bit me in the ass. I'm not going to use cute phrases like negative self-image. I'm not going to coddle, or I'm more of a bare bones, truth be told, friend tells me what I need to hear, not what I want to hear kind of thing. So this is like 20 plus years of psychs wrapped up into basically just do it. The easiest way to sum it up, just do it. Okay, so from an early age, I mean starting probably about 5, I had external, I grew up with verbal abuse, mental abuse, no sexual, no physical. Anyways, couple that with having a learning disability, which me beating myself up just fine would have been enough. It was compounded with other stuff, of which created through the course of time, I don't know, self-loathing. I hated myself. Screw all that. I hated myself. So anyways, what does that mean? And why did it take so long? Because once I had bought into the belief system, that's when I kind of screwed myself. No different, and it works in the opposite. Just like I couldn't stand hearing the word, probably since second grade, of how much potential I had. Potential became my nemesis, and it was much easier once I bought into the belief system to wallow in my own self-pity and poor me it, and then blame game it, doing inner child work, going back to find the root cause between the ages of 18 months and 3 years old, and all this other BS. It's exactly what it turned out to be, because the only thing that did was just kept me going, reporting to some cat that, short of taking some notes just for the next week to pretty much refresh where we were at in the session before, who's probably just as sick as me after so many years of thinking. If I sat and listened to everybody else's issues all day long, I have to be fucked up myself. Anyways, so, or if not, I would definitely get there from listening to some heinous stuff. I'm trying to cut out so much cussing. So, anyways, and then, when I've got society telling me who I'm supposed to be and how I'm supposed to be, it was a win-win for the darkness, because now I'm hearing it from the two people that created me, myself, and now society, all telling me what and who I'm supposed to be and how I'm supposed to be, and dictating every step of my life. And it was a failed plan from the start. Believe me, most of my life was spent, if I could have crawled back up in the womb and just died, that would have been heaven to me. So, okay, so where I'm at with any of this? Why? How does this apply? What do I do about it? Now I'm not in the damage mode. Now I'm in damage control mode. I'm in the solution, not in the problem. I was part of the problem for many, many moons. Now it's solution. And yes, I could sit and wish I was Johnny Depp, or wish I was just whoever. It doesn't matter. Pick a person I would have better luck hitting the Powerball every week from now until the time I die than it would be to be one of them, because when you do the numbers on that, there is only one of those ever in the history of the world. There's only one Brad Pitt that's ever, all the humans ever born. There's one of them. One of any, but then you know what? That same thing rings true for me. There's only one me out of all the sperm now that hit the egg. This is what happened. And because I have a belief system, I was created before the world was ever breathed into existence. And I didn't want to hear that stuff. Don't get it twisted. I come from a side that I once hated God. I didn't know God. When I did know Him, I hated Him. I didn't understand Him. I wanted to blame Him for everything going on in this world, everything that was wrong. The only time I use God's name is it was in some kind of a negative context. But it's that same God that saved my life. I'm not going to get off on, and if it weren't for Jesus, there'd be no me. So I'm doing that portion now, but it's not going to really go that way. So the choices I've made because of the BS that I bought into have put me in some more than precarious situations. Anyways, I've 30-some years of crack and alcohol, how many mental institution trips, how many years of seeing shrinks, how much time I've spent behind bars, be it jails, prisons, how many times I've even died. Yes, that's happened quite a few times. I don't know how many times I've woke up in ICUs with ventilators down my throat or catheters in me or whatever the case may be. So, and I went through life blaming my parents, blaming my situation. If I could have been, it was always this carrot in front of the donkey's face. You know what I mean? Like that's something that can never be reached. As opposed to just sitting back, seeing what I have to work with. I'm not going to get off into all this DSM's crap. Seeing what I have to work with and being happy that I even have to work with what I have. Yes, I could look at the world, I mean, those around me having it much worse than me. The thing is that's what the news does, and the news would keep me lazy if I were to watch it, period. I do not cut the TV on unless I'm going to watch a movie, period. Because the only thing that does is takes the focus off of the crap I'm in and look at how bad everything else is, which then makes my situation not look so bad, which then keeps me in my comfort zone. Or because the hardest thing that I've discovered in the world is for me changing, where I always tried to get the world around me to change, to fit me. Doesn't work that way. I'm not that special. Sucked when I found that out. So anyways, but the thing is through all this, I have a perseverance mentally. The things I've gone through, things I've put myself, let me rephrase that, the places and situations I have placed myself in, I should be nothing short of being spoon-fed in a straitjacket applesauce. So that's not the case. And then I felt like crap coming even doing this. I don't even know if this will make it anywhere. But anyways, I started thinking about things, and like all these, I started watching karate movies because for some reason those helped me. Because it's always an underdog situation, like one guy versus 20, and it's always for some kind of a greater good. So anyways, the way that I started viewing things is that my Jet Li, where theirs is all like fighting and action, I can talk. So, and I would dollars to donuts that the brain registers it the same way. As my brain never stops. So as my thoughts come in, I used to go to paper all the time. This is my my second time I've tried just freestyling it from the hip. So because I have the best running dialogues in my mind. So why should it be so hard to get it from? Why should it be any harder to get it from my head to my hand? And it's a shorter distance than from my head to my hand as it is from my head to my mouth. So I mean, just sense-wise, that's what makes much more. Anyways, the movement, the brain taking in whatever it is thought, and then registering it and sending the message to come out. Though the movements come through my tongue and my lips, I don't think it would be too much different, the mechanics of it, than getting from me blocking a punch and then roundhousing somebody in the nose or throat chopping somebody. Anyways, it looks pretty good in my mind. It may not have came out so well. Or maybe it sounded much better there. Now, I can take the problem, and generally the kind of person I would double and triple analyze everything. But if my attitude, if my perspective is off, I think I've gotten life boiled down for me to three basic things: attitude, perspective, and choice. Those three things. And they're pretty much interchangeable because they all kind of, they all work hand in hand, and one dictates and even necessitates sometimes the other. So anyways, if I get up, and you know what, Jim Quick actually helped me with that one. Win the first hour, win the day. And so if I come out of something negative, I try to make a tendency to do like a little gratitude thing before I go to sleep. And when I wake up, generally though, it doesn't work that way. I'm usually like, anyways, for me, fighting demons. It's literally, but like, anyway, and so to try and take the first hour, where if I wake up and I have my thoughts on something much higher and more relevant, because let's face it, I'm old. I'm 48, and you know, thank God I have a belief system that that this isn't it, that it wasn't just 74 years of a wasted life, you know what I mean? And that all this, and this is where this comes, all this was in the way and the ability and what I have to offer and to give back is in hopes that even one person gets something I say, and it even saves them 1 hour of pain and misery, as opposed to dragging it out as I have. So anyways, now on to the next thing. Actually, you know what? Let's stay here because I'm already at 13 minutes, and I don't want to lose anybody. So where does everything? So I could sit and stew, which I did for years, and my thoughts would, you know, and drown it in a bottle, or let it go up in smoke, or I could get off my ass and do something about it, and that's what I now chose to do. And what's sad is this: even in saying this, it sounds ridiculous in third grade. Though I know I can't be the only person in the world, because addiction is rampant and homelessness is rampant. So, and the lost are who I understand. People in the trenches is where my heart is, from many, many years of being out on those streets. And anyways, nothing changes if nothing changes, period. And I'm going to keep getting what I get if I keep doing the same things I do. So much that rings true in the rooms. I know that support groups work, and I'm active. Well, not active, but I'm part of one. Anyways, but either way, it's not just for that, because where I'm finding things now is that it's not in what I was doing, the issues in my thinking. So that means the issues inside me. It's an inside job. And you know what? All the money spent on all the self-help books and, oh man, the countless hours surfing various couches with renter friends is, who knows. And either way, the discomfort's going to be the same, whether I'm paying for it at $200 an hour or I'm simply just deciding when I get up, no more. And I guess it's like the adage, sick and tired of being sick and tired. So, and what's sad is that's all free. All that's free. The 12-step rooms are free. It's not a $30,000 30-day resort that is no different than, it's just a really nice jail. But there again, I don't even have to be behind bars. There was I don't remember who it was, but it says brick and steel does not a prison make, meaning that I can be totally free by all appearance, but in my mind, I'm more ashamed. That used to kill me in prison when I'd see guys just like they hadn't even been in prison. They hadn't even been there like a day. And meanwhile, they'd been down 20, 30 years. And anyways, but what happened is they discovered that I discovered, no different than them, that I'm the one solely responsible for my own happiness, and that it is as simple as life is what you make it. Or life is what I make it. Let me keep it in my perspective. Anyways, thanks for letting me share. Have an interesting day, and may peace be with you.